Hello everyone and welcome to Minecraft Hardcore. Now I have been playing Hardcore Minecraft almost exclusively for just over a year now, and I've had some varying degrees of success. However, during this run I seem to have found my stride and I've managed to achieve something for the first time, and that is to survive for 1000 days. And this has been quite a journey for me personally, both in terms of making videos and playing the game itself. And as you can see, we have managed to achieve something beautiful. So I'd like to invite you all to sit back, relax, and share this experience with me as we start out with nothing but our wits and sheer determination and navigate our way through this treacherous world on our way to, for the first time ever, survive 1000 days in Minecraft Hardcore. And hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Minecraft 1.20, the Trails and Tales update. And here we go, starting a brand new series, a brand new adventure of Minecraft Hardcore. Hello ladies and gents, and welcome to Minecraft 1.20, the Trails and Tales update. My name is Fungusaurus Rex, and this is Minecraft Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Minecraft 1.20, the Trails and Tales update. My name is Fungusaurus Rex, and this is Minecraft Hardcore. And we have spawned in a mangrove swamp, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm just collecting some propagules here before we get going. And next to us we also have a desert, which gives us a chance for a desert village and the chance to find one of the new mobs in the game, a camel. And just look at those pretty fish. Anyway, we've got a desert nearby, we've also got a jungle nearby where we can get some bamboo and make use of some of the new blocks. Ooh, froggies. Anyway, let's carry on, grab some stuff, and then we'll find a spot to settle down. And we've managed to locate a village. There's a jungle on my left, there's a savanna biome on my right, and the first thing I'm gonna grab here is, of course, a bed. And is it just me, or am I running a lot faster than I used to? The speed is absolutely incredible, and I must say, I am loving it. So let's just quickly ransack this village, and then we'll do a little bit more exploring. And I think we're going to start off in the jungle, because bamboo is now more than just cheap fuel. It has actually become a valuable commodity. And already we have discovered a jungle temple. Now, my previous PC was a bit of a potato, so I tended to avoid jungles as it couldn't really handle them, and I have never actually encountered one of these before. So it is my mission to go through it and discover what riches it holds. So let's just get some torches up and head into its depths. Alrighty, we've got some levers over here. We've got some walls of... Oh, that was close. Okay, dispensers with arrows. Let's see if we can avoid those. And we've got a chest with some gold, some bones, some bamboo, and some rotten flesh. However, I don't think that is the treasure we are here to find. Ooh, another one. And I have been fooling around with these levers, and I can hear some pistons moving, but I'm not sure if it's actually doing anything, opening or closing anything, or just deactivating some dispensers. So, ouch. I'm just going to take down these tripwires, and I managed to catch both of them in the face, and I can see some redstone going there to that dispenser, and I have no idea what those levers are actually meant to do. So, instead of being subtle, I'm gonna take a pickaxe to the wall and see what is happening here. And, oh, look at... Yes! This is what we came to find. Some diamonds, some gold, some bones, and more bamboo. And that is absolutely fantastic. And now that we're done exploring the jungle temple, we are going to be settling right here. It's pretty close to the village, just up on a hill. And I've put down my bed, my crafting table, my furnace, and that means this is now home. And the first thing I'm going to do is build a bamboo plantation. So here we go, clearing out some space, and as you can see, I've got some chests, I've got my goodies in it, and my space for the bamboo plantation is almost ready. Just a few more blocks to fill in over here. So let's get that done. And I think this will be large enough, so let's get some bamboo down and start our plantation. And with bamboo in hand, it's time to start planting. I'm going to start right here, put down a row, leave one row open, and then put down another row. And I'm going to repeat that until I believe we have enough bamboo planted. And with our first bamboo harvest, I'm giving back to the plantation and putting up a beautiful bamboo fence. So here we go. Let's just pop these down right there. And already I can see bamboo fences becoming one of my absolute favorite blocks. It is gorgeous. However, we still need a lot more bamboo. So let's get this harvested and wait for it to grow again so we can carry on making some more bamboo blocks and fences. And we're almost done with the fence around our bamboo farm. So let's just go in here, pop those four in there, and the bamboo plantation is done. And that is looking absolutely spectacular. I really do love the new bamboo fences. And it's time to start building our home. Now, as you can see, I've drawn out a rough shape on the ground here. But other than that, I have got absolutely zero plans of what I want to do. I don't even have a block palette yet. So what I'm going to do is put down some oak pillars, build them up, build a bit of a frame around it, and then see where that takes me. I'm thinking I might need to use some stone for the walls, as early game stone is abundant. And I've used some of the bamboo to smelt some cobblestone into normal stone, and I've used that to make some stone bricks, and that is what I'm going to be using for a start to build the walls. So I'm just going to fill it up as much as I can between these pillars. However, looking at this, I don't think I have anywhere near enough stone, so I might need to collect and smelt quite a bit more. So we've got some of the walls filled in, and I really think this is starting to look pretty good. So let's continue. And with the walls built up, I'm going to start working on the floor. Now, it might seem a little bit odd that I'm starting on the floor when I don't have a second story or roof or anything really in place yet, but I'm going to be using some of the new bamboo blocks for the floor, and I'm really anxious to see what that looks like. And here we go. I've made some bamboo slabs, and they are quite yellow, but a little bit of color never hurt anybody. So let's just get these in here. And yes, that is quite yellow indeed, but I think it's looking pretty good. And I've decided to add a border of bamboo blocks with a pointy end sticking up this way. The green color and the difference in texture really provides a nice finish to the bamboo floor, and I think this is looking rather lovely. I really am loving the brand new bamboo blocks, and I can see myself using them quite a bit in the future. And the floors are all done, and they are looking quite stunning, which means it's time to turn our attention to the outside. And as you can see, I've added some paths, I've added a wheat farm, and I've defeated a pillager raid. In addition to that, I have also made myself a cow farm, because so far I've been eating watermelon, and that is definitely not the best food in the world. So hopefully pretty soon I'll have some tasty steaks to munch on. Anyhow, let's just get some food inside of us, and then we can continue building our home. What we've created so far is looking rather lovely, so I think we are going to be safe to just continue in this fashion. And I'm going to start to put up the second story. And we have made some progress. We've got a bit of a roof going on in the front there. We have put up a porch as well. And there's an annoying zombie stuck somewhere that I simply cannot find. However, we have the second story ready to be built, and I think I'm going to start by adding a bit of roof on all sides. So in order to do that, I'm going to need to collect just a little bit more mangrove wood, so let's get that done. And the roof has been built on all sides. I also mined my way down into the bowels of the earth and got some deep slate. So we're going to be putting up a deep slate tile roof, and we're going to start right over here. So that's one side done. Let's do the other side quickly. And the roof is on its way. We're going to finish up the roof over here with some deep slate tile slabs. Now, I'm not 100% sure what needs to happen here yet. Let's just add that. And no, that does not line up at all, which means I need to make another plan. But I think I can actually take it out altogether, because I'll probably be adding a wall over here, and that will be the corner. And the zombie has finally gotten on my last nerve. I'm going to find it and I'm going to eliminate it. However, to do that, I need to dig into the depths of darkness over here, and there he is, stuck in the corner like an idiot. Come over here, let me take care of you. Thank you very much. And while I'm here, I can probably just mine a few of these resources, because coal is always welcome. Next up, I'm going to be making a little bit of mud. I have decided that perhaps it would be lovely to have some packed mud and packed mud bricks on the upper story. So I've just got my bottle here, I've got some dirt, and I'm going to be making a lot of mud. And now that our mud has been acquired, I'm going to start the top story of my house. And I'm starting once again in the corners with some oak, just framing it out and see where we're going to be putting the walls. I think I'm going to have a bit of a porch on this side as well, so I can look out over the lake. So let's get the final pillar in place. And the mud is going in. As you can see, I've got some mud bricks. I've got some packed mud as well. So I'm just building a bit of a pattern here, just randomly. And then I'm going to fill in the gaps with the normal packed mud. And we'll see what that looks like. I'm hoping it's going to look spectacular, but I have to keep an open mind and come up with another plan if this simply doesn't work. With most of the walls in place, I can turn my attention to the porch once again, and I'm going to be using some bamboo fence to round this out. And it's coming together quite nicely. I've been experimenting with some bamboo trapdoors. They give a very nice pattern, but I'm not 100% sure on how to best use them yet. As you can see, I've been using them as some shutters, but I'm not entirely convinced just yet that this is the best way to go. However, let's add some more on this side, get a unified look going to the building, and then we'll be able to better judge what we want to do with it. It's definitely coming along, but there's something else that I want as well. And I'm out in the wilderness in search of that particular item. It is, of course, a cherry sapling. I am looking for a cherry grove to get some cherry wood and some cherry saplings so that I can plant it back home and see how I can incorporate that into my brand new house. And if my eyes don't deceive me, I see some pink peeking out over the mountain over there. And definitely that is a cherry tree. Mission accomplished. Let's go grab ourselves some cherry, and there's snow right next to it. But I suppose we can't be too surprised. After all, this is Minecraft, and odd things like this happen all the time. And we've got our cherry saplings. There was one tree in this entire biome. And it is day 62, and our house is complete. It's been quite a wild ride this episode, but we have finally made it into Minecraft 1.20. And I think our new home is looking absolutely spectacular. we've got a carrot patch, we've got a wheat field, we've got a little pond next to the path, we've got some trees growing, big and small, and we have a cow field. As you can see, we've taken care of quite a bit of pillager raids as well. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, our home is complete. Welcome to Cherry Manor. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Hardcore. My name is Fungusaurus Rex, and as you can see, we've got a bit of a situation going on outside. This pillager raid showed up, and when I went outside to greet them, I got met with a face full of arrows, which you can imagine hurt quite a bit. Anyway, all that did was underscore how absolutely pathetic my armor is. Right now, I am trapped in my house, trying to stay alive and trying to get these guys, just whacking them through the door as I open and close it, but as you can see, even that is quite painful. Additionally, it is becoming night and I need to sleep. But with these guys, that is unfortunately impossible at the moment. As you shall see, if I run upstairs and go to my bed, let's just click there, and we cannot because there are monsters nearby. So what I've had to do is jump off the balcony, run away, and set up my bed over here. And now I'm ready to tackle these guys once again. And his enchanted crossbow bolts are going straight through my shield. Not ideal, and we will definitely have to find a solution. But first, let's get rid of this last guy. And there we go. We are now free of the pillager patrol, and I think it might be time to look into upgrading our gear, and for that we have to head into the village. But it seems that our solution might be facing problems of its own, because I have been through this village a few times now, and this is the only guy I could find, which means it is quite possible that because I couldn't sleep last night, some monsters have spawned here and have murdered my villagers, and with just one villager left in here, we will not be able to set up effective trade. So that means we will have to find either another village, bring some more villagers back here, or we will have to look into other solutions to get our gear up to speed. And because I have no idea where another village is, I think we might have to go for option B, which would be to mine some diamonds, set up an enchanting area, and get some better gear that way. So let's get down to bedrock and go mining. And this is the deepest ravine I could find. It should take me very, very close to bedrock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bridge over to that water over there. I'm going to take a trip down, and then that should be a quick and easy way to access bedrock. And of course, once we get to bedrock, we can start mining for some diamonds. So let's jump in and get on our way. And already we are at deep slate level, and this goes down even further. This is absolutely perfect. We should be able to hit bedrock in no time. And over there we have a bit of a mine shaft going as well, and that would make a perfect halfway stop. So let's jump over there, be careful not to fall, put down some light, and there we go. We have a halfway staging area, and you can see it goes... No. Is that what I think it is? Please don't let that be what I think it is. I suppose we'll just have to go down and take a closer look, because that is something that I really did not want to see right now. And indeed it is. We have an ancient city right underneath our feet. We also have some diamonds over here, which I am gladly going to take. However, we now have a decision to make, because as we all know, these ancient cities are chock full of absolutely great loot and could give me some really powerful gear to start off with. But on the other hand, I am not ready for this in the least, and poking around here could very well mean my death. So let's just start off here. We've got a chest full of rubbish, which I'm going to take anyway. And then I really should get out of here. And I have not gotten out of here yet because there's so much good loot to be found. I'm just going to crawl as far as I can, and at the first sign of any danger, I promise I will get out of here. However, this might still be the dumbest thing I, or anyone really, have done in a brand new Minecraft hardcore world. So let's just take it very slow, very easy, and once that shrieker goes off, we will run, because a warden is not something we can face right now. And here's another tower over here. Let's just get up there, see what's in the chest. Hopefully we can find something. Oh yes, oh yes. Unbreaking 3, protection 4, diamond leggings, as well as a sharpness 5 book. This is the loot we were after. This is the reason why we are down here, risking everything to get some goodies. And I'm gonna put that on immediately. Hopefully that will help keep me alive just a little bit longer. And there goes the shrieker. I am out of here. And it says the warden approaches. I don't know whether that means he has actually spawned. He cannot have spawned yet because that was the first shrieker I set off. But I'm not going to stick around to find out. I am going to get out. And that is if I can find out. Okay, I'm just going to skirt the edge of the ancient city. And hopefully that will take me back to the waterway, which will take me back to the surface and to safety. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I'm gonna jump down here. I don't see any sin. Ooh, diamonds. Okay, I'm gonna grab the diamonds and then I'm going to get out of here. There we go. Let's leave. And I see light up ahead. We have made it out alive and well. And that spider shouldn't give me any problems as it is daylight. But right now, it is time to get back to the original plan for this video. And that plan is twofold. Number 1, find and explore a trail ruin. And number 2, get some sniffer eggs. So we're going to kick off right away with number 1. There is a jungle to my right, and I'm going to go in there and look for a trail ruin. So let's just grab some gear and then we'll head out. And I realized there might be a bit of a problem with finding some trail ruins. And that problem is twofold. Number 1, I have no idea what they look like, so I have no idea what I'm looking for. However, I doubt they're gonna be down there. I might be wrong, but I'm not gonna waste any more time in holes. And then part 2 of our dilemma. Not every jungle, as far as I know, has a trail ruin, so there's no guarantee that this one will have one. And we found a trail ruin, there was one, and we're gonna get digging straight away. So let's get rid of a bit of the terracotta at the top here, and we have some very, very suspicious gravel. Let's just grab our brush and see what we get. Here we go, first suspicious gravel of a trail ruin, and oh, what did we... We got some yellow dye. Yay! Alright. No matter. We will find some of the good stuff. Let's just... that's just normal gravel. Let's get digging. And let's go down and see what we can find. And we're getting into the thick of it now. As you can see, more of the runes are emerging. And I'm going to do my best to keep them as intact as possible. And we've got a purple window pane over here. That is very interesting. But as I mentioned, I'm going to try and preserve these ruins as well as I possibly can. And that can help us figure out how these people used to live, what the buildings we discover could have possibly been used for, and we can piece together the story of their lives. So we're just going to continue going down until we find the main part of this ruin. And we have some more suspicious gravel over here. Let's grab the brush and see what we get. And that is a record. Let's see, what can I get rid of? Let's chuck that for now. And we have Relic. I haven't heard of that one before, so it must be a new one. I'll have a listen to it later. However, right now we are in archaeology mode. So let's keep digging. And we have unearthed a significant portion of this trail rune. As you can see, the shaft has become very deep. I've set up a chest over here where we can put all the stuff we unearth. And we have found this little hidey hole. I'm not sure if this was perhaps a shop or a home. However, there is a path leading this way to nothing. And then over here, we have a much larger room. Now, I think this might have been a communal room of some sort. Perhaps this was a well at some stage, or maybe a marketplace. And we have found some more very, very suspicious gravel. So let's... Oh, yes, that is a smithing template. And we have found the Wayfinder armor trim. That is fantastic. We'll add it to our collection. And this place is absolutely packed with suspicious gravel. I can see 3 just right over here. And I think that is some more yellow dye. Let's get rid of that, get rid of these, and let's see what else we have. There is some more down there as well. This area is absolutely packed with suspicious gravel, and I think that was a red window pane. We've got 3 more here. There's another red window pane. Let's grab that quickly. And then we move on to the next one, and let's see... What on earth was that? Okay, let's have it. Okay, we have found a brown candle. Very useful indeed for lighting up one's house. And over here we have another smithing template. We'll take a look at that later, but right now we have some more gravel to remove over here. So let's grab our shovel and let's get digging. So far, it's been a pretty good haul. We've got a lot of potsherds, we have some armor trim, and we are not even halfway done with this trail rune. It is absolutely fantastic, and I am having the best time trying to unearth all of these things. And now I've fallen in a hole. Let's just get out of here. And as you can see, we've gone down this way, and there's still some more to go. And I'm hearing zombies, but I don't think they're in the rune itself. And this is most definitely a doorway. So let's grab our shovel, and let's see what kind of building we have discovered. Just make sure that we don't see any suspicious gravel that we might break. Let's get that. Okay, I see one over there. Let's just break the one on... No! Okay, that was my bad. I meant to break the one on top of it and completely messed that up. But no matter, we shall carry on. And I think we have discovered the cartographer's house. And up here is his cartography table, and this is probably where he came to get away from the other noisy villagers and do his work in peace. So we'll leave that untouched and we'll explore some more. And we have found another doorway, this one leading into this red house. So let's get digging. We'll try not to break any more suspicious gravel, but let's see if we can find out what this house was for. And judging by the loom over here, I'm going to say this was the weaver's house. And let's get rid of this gravel. And I think we have found the forge. There is an anvil. It has been well used. And this is probably where they crafted all the finest weapons and armor in the land. Let's see if they've left us anything. That looks like an armor trim. Yes, that is another armor trim. And that confirms it. This was the forge. And we have, let's see, we have some shaper armor trim. And this gives us an overall view of the entire ruin that I have uncovered. I don't think there's anything more to be found, but this has been an absolute blast. I have enjoyed every second of it, and I am so very glad that Mojang has added this to the game. However, it is time to leave these ruins and move on to the next part of our adventure, which is find some sniffer eggs. And here we go. We have crafted ourselves a bamboo raft, because using anything else would just be sacrilege. Just look at it. It is absolutely brilliant. So let's get going. I'll just hop on here And look at that, it's magnificent. And here we go, we have found our first warm ocean ruin, and apparently this is where sniffer eggs are to be found. So let's get down here. I've got some doors for air, and that will allow us to look around for some suspicious sand, and hopefully they will contain a sniffer egg. Let's get in here, take a breath, and carry on exploring. And we have found some suspicious sand. I've got my door down, and here we go. Grab my brush and let's see what on earth have we found. We have found a perfect iron axe. That is phenomenal, but no sniffer egg. And we have some more suspicious sand right over here. So let's get our door down and let's see if the elusive sniffer egg is hiding in this block. No, we have found another perfect iron axe. Now that is really great, but I want an egg. And this ruin was a total bust. We found 2 iron axes, but not much else of use, and worst of all, we did not find a sniffer egg. So right now I'm just going to take an ocean bottom nap over here, and then we'll move on to the next ruin. And beautiful as this is, it is not making finding ruins any easier. I haven't found any so far, and I have been boating for quite a while. So hopefully pretty soon we'll find another ruin, and with a little bit of luck we'll find some sniffer eggs inside. And here we go, another ocean ruin has been found, and we have suspicious sand. Let's grab our brush and let's see what we can unearth, and that looks like a gold nugget. Not a sniffer egg, unfortunately. And we haven't found another ruin yet, but we have found a desert village. And in that desert village, there will be a camel, and I want to go see it. So let's just park our boat here. Hello, people. Where's your camel? I'm not seeing the camel so far, but while we're here, we might as well just nip into these houses and see if they have... Okay, I'm not going to disturb that guy, whatever he's busy doing. I want no part of it. But as I was saying, let's nip into these houses and see if they've got anything useful for us. We've got a book, we've got a cactus, and that's all that one has. So let's see... Oh, I want this. Thank you very much. Let's see if we can find that camel. Nothing in this house, and there it is, we have found our camel. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, look at that magnificent creature, it's beautiful. And look at all the villagers lining up to pet it. Oh my goodness, I love the camel. I will be back for it later because I have no saddle at the moment. So before we go, let's just have a quick run through these houses. I will take that, thank you very much. And then I will come back with a saddle and I will take home my camel. And we're back on the boat. Not as exciting as the camel, but we have found another ruin over here. And this is actually a lukewarm ocean, and as far as I know, the sniffer eggs are to be found in a warm ocean. Now, I'm not sure if this qualifies, but I'm going to take care of these guys, and then I'm going to have a look and see if we can find sniffer eggs here. And here we go. We have some suspicious sand, and what have we found? A wooden hoe. And some more suspicious sand. Let's see what is... goodness, let's get rid of this door. And let's brush and see what we have over here. That is, believe it or not, another axe. And let's hope third time's the charm. Let's get our door... Oh goodness, I'm gonna drown if I keep placing doors like this. So let's get in here. Let's get rid of this door. And let's see if this suspicious sand will deliver the goods. And... Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have found a sniffer egg. And that confirms that lukewarm ocean ruins will do just as well as warm ocean ruins. So seeing as we found one, let's poke around a bit and see if we're in luck and can find another. And this little patch of suspicious sand looks promising, so let's grab our brush. And I do believe, ladies and gentlemen, we have found a second snuffer egg. That means we can pack up and go home. No more boating for us for at least a while. And we have made our way back home. And believe it or not, on the way home, we found another warm ocean ruin which contained a third sniffer egg. So what we need to do now is build these guys a little home they can call their own. And our sniffer pen is complete, and they all have their own little houses. Over here we have Snuff, over here we have Snort, and on the side here we have Snoof. So they are busy hatching, and I absolutely cannot wait to meet them. It has been a long time since I have been this excited about anything in Minecraft. And Snuff is almost there. Snort as well, and Snoof, and I think I heard something. Yes, Snuff has joined us, and there is Snort, which means Snoof can't be far behind. There is Snoof as well. We have 3 sniffers, ladies and gents. Just listen to them, just look at them. I love them. Snort, what the heck are you doing? Okay, we'll sort out Snort later. He's just being very silly. But look at them, ladies and gents. Ooh, Snuff has gone directly for the flowers, as befits a sniffer. And look at that little snoot go. Isn't it beautiful? I love them. And it looks like Snoof has got some plans of escape going on over here. Let's just nudge him back in. Bad Snoof. And then we'll take away these blocks for now. I think I might have made that one block over there 1/2 slab too low, so we'll just have to patch that up. However, it is day 108, ladies and gentlemen. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Hardcore. Now, over the last 28 days, I have had an amazing response to my videos, and I want to take this opportunity to say a massive thank you to everybody who has took the time to watch, who has left a like, who has left a comment, and of course, to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I do read your comments, guys. I do try and make each and every episode better than the last. So if you haven't done so yet, do hit that subscribe button. And I'm told, when you do, you get a warm, fuzzy feeling deep inside. So let's jump straight into it and get going with today's story. Now, the first thing I'm going to do today is something that I did promise I was going to do in the last episode, and that is, I'm going to go fetch my camel. Now, I can already hear you saying, Fungusaurus, you cannot steal that people's camel. But guys, I'm not stealing it. I am buying it. I have a totally legal camel contract and everything, signed with purple ink by the village mayor. And if you know which other historical figure used to have a fountain pen with purple ink, drop his name in the comments below. And while you do that, I'll go fetch my camel. And there it is. Look at it. Absolutely magnificent. So let's take it out for a test drive. And it's a little bit of a slow going, but let's see those hops, and yes, that is some fantastic jumping right there. Now, there is a little matter of about 1,000 blocks of ocean between where we are now and home, so getting this magnificent beast home might prove a little challenging. So first off, I'm gonna see if camels can swim. I think I already know the answer to this, but it's worth a try, and so far it is not looking good. Nope. So swimming is out of the question. Next plan, let's see if we can get this beast in a boat, and initial signs point to no. So let's try again from the other side. I'll just grab my boat over here and let's pop it down over there, and I'm gonna say that's a no on the boat as well. So we've resorted to the simplest and yet the most effective method. I've got a leash, I've got my camel, and we're going home. And there we are. Land is coming into sight, and just over that jungle is home. So I'm going to head for the shore, and then I'm going to ride my camel for the last few blocks. And I've discovered if you hold down shift, this camel actually has a pretty decent turn of speed. Look at it go. So for anybody out there wondering, is a camel worth it? The answer is absolutely yes. Now let's just be careful over here. I don't want to fall into a ravine and lose my camel. That would be absolutely devastating. So I'm just going to take it nice and slow. And I think there's just one ravine left. And I realized I have made a bit of a blunder. Firstly, I brought home a camel and I have nowhere to put it. So we need to build this guy a home. And secondly, this camel has no name. So if anybody has any suggestions, drop it in the comments below and we'll get right on building a home for our camel. And our camel pen is almost complete. I've tried to incorporate as many things as I could from his homeland. As you can see, I've got some sand, I've got some cactus, I've got some dead bushes, and I think our camel is going to be very, very happy over here. One thing that I still do want to add is some colorful desert nomad flags all around its pen, and for that I'm gonna need some wool. So first things first, let's just complete this path. And once that is done, we can see about going out, getting some wool, and putting up some flags for our camel. Now usually I gather my wool from the island sheep in the middle of the lake, but today I'm going to give them a little bit of a break. We've got some sheep right behind our house over here, and I think today's wool is going to be coming from them. So that's one. I think I saw some more right over here. There we go. That's two. And there's another one right here. And I thought there were a few more sheep than that. But it seems I might have been mistaken. Ooh, that guy's ready to go again. So let's grab that wool. And I think I am very, very short. Which means I will need to go to the island and shear those sheep. The following preview has been rated R for ridiculous. Just when the island sheep thought they were safe, it turns out they were not. Hoo-yah! In a tale packed with sheer action, Fungusaurus Rex is the Wool Ninja. Probably never coming to theaters anywhere ever. So we've gathered enough wool to make some banners, and we've hung them up in our camel house, and I think it is looking rather good. I'm on my way to fetch the camel, but I think I'm just going to fix this little piece of road right here. I've got some slabs, so let's just grab those, and then we go pop them down here. Just 1, 2, 3, and the road is done. Let's get our camel. And, ooh, the fact that he walked right over that fence gate is just a little bit concerning. So, I think we will need to do some tests in order to see if a camel can actually climb over these on its own, or if it was just because I'm riding it. It's coming over here and, oop, it can walk right over them. So in order to determine what it takes to actually contain a camel, I think we'll need to do some tests, because if this camel can't be held by my fence, we've got a problem. And we've set up a little bit of a test ground here. We've set up an obstacle course, and the first thing we're going to try is a simple fence. So here we go, fence number 1, and yep, just walks right over it like it's not even there. So I would assume if it does that with a fence, it'll do exactly the same with a wall. So let's try that. Here we go, wall test in 3, 2, and right over it. So first results, a camel can walk right over a fence and a brick wall. So next up, what happens if we put a trapdoor on top of it? Here we go, and still walking right over it. And if it does that with a fence, it's gonna do the same with the wall. So final test, if we put a slab on top of that fence and that wall, let's see what happens. And once again, the fence and the slab is no match for the mighty camel. So I've come to the conclusion that it's probably going to take a 2-block high wall to contain this camel, and we're going to put that to the test quickly. So let's get on our camel and see if a 2-block high wall can stop it. Here we go. And yep, it cannot climb over a 2-block high wall. Let's see if it can jump over. Nope. And so in conclusion, it's going to take a 2-block high wall to contain this animal. And I'm not going to redesign his pen right now, so I'm just going to keep him leashed for a little bit because we've got some other work to do. And in the previous episode, you might recall that I panicked because I thought all of my villagers were dead. As it turns out, they were not. They were just off hiding somewhere. I have found some of them, but the scare was enough to prompt me into finally building a villager breeder. And as you can see, most of the work is done. Is just a little bit of refinement needed to make it pretty. So first up, I'm going to put down some pretty spruce pillars right over here in all the corners and in the middle. So let's get those dug down and put up. While I'm down here, let me quickly just hoe down these patches of dirt and turn them back into farmland. There we go. And let's get this pillar set up right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And all the pillars are in place, so we're just going to install some cross beams. I'm just going to go and put one in between all of the pillars. And one down and a few more to go. Our cross beams are in place, however we have a little bit of an iron golem infestation over here. They are ruining the crops and they are just generally in the way. So let's get rid of them. I've pushed them in the water, let's take them out. And I've very carefully calculated that if I stand right here, I can whack them without them being able to whack me. So that's the first one down. Let's get the second one down as well. And of course we're going to get a little bit of iron from this. So next up we're going to install some stone walls. And I'm just going to place some random stone blocks, leave a few gaps, and afterwards we'll fill those gaps with some stone bricks. The villagers will have a safe and sturdy shelter over here. And the stone bricks are in. However, during construction, our farmer has escaped. So we need to get him back. And then we need to find him a little friend. We also need to get a roof in here, but we'll get to that in due time. And then lastly, we'll need to finish the area where the beds are going to go. And our farmer is back in the breeder. So we've done some work over here. As you can see, I've added a little bit of decorations. I've added some torches and there's half a roof going up. However, I still need to finish this front bit over here, but I've run out of stone. So I'm just waiting for a little bit more to smelt and then we'll complete this section. And with the breeder complete, it's time to let these guys out and have them become productive members of the society. So let's just dig out the blocks here. Come on guys, you're free to go. Let's go find you a job. And the villager training is going splendid. We've got some librarians with some awesome trades locked in. However, at this moment, we don't have much to trade with them. So I need to upscale my sugarcane farm. And I think I'm going to do that not by automation or anything because I don't have the stuff to automate it yet. We're going to do it simply by making this farm a little bigger. So first up, we're just going to plop down more blocks. Just give us a bit more real estate to plant more sugarcane. Just give it another row over here. And then we're gonna dig some holes and fill them with water. And that should give us plenty of space to plant some more sugarcane. And then I'm gonna put some top slabs over the water source blocks just to make it a little bit easier to farm and to work in the field. And then finally, it's time to plant more sugarcane. So here we go. I'm just going to go all the way around, and as the sugarcane grows, I'm going to grab it and just plant it down again. So eventually, this will be quite a productive little field, and I think once we're done, we'll have plenty of sugarcane to make paper and trade with the librarians. And it's time to take a look at what we've done so far. So we have the camel house, and as you can see, I have finally found a use for those annoying banners that get left by the pillager raids. So just look at that, and that should get everybody to stay away. Next up, let's check in on our sniffers, because these guys have grown and they are absolutely massive. If I had known they'd get this big, I probably would have built their pen a little bit larger, but they seem happy, so I'll leave it be. And Snoof has found something, some torchflower seeds, and oh, look at Snort go, and what have you got, my boy? He's got a pitcher pot. Good boy, Snort. And Snuff, you better pick up your game, you're falling behind the others. But doesn't matter, I love all three of you, you are absolutely fantastic. So let's head over to the house, because I have been doing some work there as well, and I've got the interior all decorated. So let's just make our way over, and the second we walk in the door, you'll be able to see that I have absolutely no idea what to do with this spot right here. At the moment, I've got some pitcher plants and torch flowers growing over here, but it's not the most productive use of this space. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. Next up, let's take a look at the kitchen, and we have a beauty of a kitchen going on around here. We've got some ovens and stoves, some chairs, some tables, and of course, we've got some herbs growing as well, which we can use to make some delicious, delicious food. And last but not least, we've got our coffee maker. So the kitchen is all kitted out and ready to receive some guests. On the other side of the house, I went absolutely nuts with the chiseled bookshelves. And I don't know if they serve much of a use, but I really wanted to put them down here, and I think I might have gone just a little bit overboard. But no matter, we'll fill them up in due time. But for now, let's get on with the tour, and I turn your attention to the cupboard, which is now the smelting area. We've got our 4 furnaces in there for no other reason than I didn't know quite where to put them. And going upstairs, you can see the bedroom has been decked out. We've got a nice desk with a chair over here where we can sit and study all the artifacts we've unearthed. We've got our double bed with some banners, some paintings, and it's looking rather nice. We've also got some pots that I've made. As you can see, this one I used a few of my sherds to make a fantastic friend pot, and this one I just had a lot of those sherds, so I made it another pot. I'm not even sure what it's called, but I really do love the pots. And finally, let's check in on our villagers. As you can see, I have done quite a bit of work over here. We've got some Fletchers, we've got some librarians, we've got a toolsmith, some armorers, and all of them are working towards getting their top tier trades. Now, I have been doing quite a bit of work with the armorers, which has allowed me to deck myself out in full diamond armor. And as you can see, Protection 3 Unbreaking 3 helmet, a Protection 1 chestplate. That one sucks a little bit still, but we'll get there. We have an Unbreaking 3 Protection 4 pair of pants, and we have Protection 2 Feather Falling 3 boots. And all of this stuff should really help me to stay alive a little bit longer. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is it for today. We've got some great work done. We've got some trades, we've got a camel, and we have got ourselves some decent gear. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Hardcore. Now, no need to panic. Obviously, as you still can see, the village is still there. there's no flood coming down from the mountains above, and that was all done in a creative copy of my hardcore world which I use for planning. However, I still will be destroying half the village today, and this valley will be getting flooded. Now I've been thinking long and hard about what to do with this area over here, and finally I have come up with a plan. However, it's gonna take a lot of preparation, a lot of planning, and we're getting started right away. So what I want to do is create a lake in this valley over here, and that will require me destroying all of these buildings and planning out the dam wall meticulously, because if I get this wrong, I will have to redo everything, and once this is filled up with water, that's going to be a bit of a problem. So while I'm busy planning, if you haven't already, head over and hit that subscribe button, and let's get this party on the way. Now this is the third time that I'm replanning this wall, and as you could see from the very first shot, the first time it was between the buildings, I then moved it out to around about the middle of the lake, and now it's right on the edge. But I'm getting some monster sounds over here, so I better head down and just check what the heck is going on down here. And there's a creeper, I can hear a zombie, but let's just take out this blasty little mister first. One more, and there we go, and here comes Mr. Zombie as well, so let's just get rid of him. And then let's just quickly head in here and see what is happening. So we've got a bit of a cave in that direction, some lava over there, and then we've got more cave in this direction. And as it turns out, the cave wasn't very large or very interesting by any means, so we're back to planning, and I want to curve this wall in right here to meet up with this other edge right over here, and that's not what I wanted to do. Let's just grab that dirt and replace it. There we go. And on this end, I'm just going to curve it back to meet up with that little hill over there. Alright, so most of the planning is done. I think let's build this up and see what it looks like, because I think I'm only going to get a full idea of what's happening here once I have put all these blocks in place. But first, let's see what this trader has to offer, because maybe he's got something useful. Let's go have a look. Hello, sir. He's got a fern. Oh, he's got some beetroot seeds. I really do want that. Okay, he's got a lot of other rubbish, but I need those seeds, so wait here while I get my money. And there we go, we have some beetroot seeds, and if you're wondering why I'm so excited about beetroot seeds, is because I have found that if you have a farmer who has been zombified and cured a few times, the beetroot trade is actually pretty good. You get an emerald for just 3 or 4 beetroots, while if you're trading with carrots, potatoes or wheat, you need a lot more goodies to get that same emerald from the farmer. So I'm just gonna go pop these in my chest, and we'll get on with today's project. And we have another pillager patrol over here. These guys have been really persistent and a big pain. They seem to be moving away, but that doesn't stop me from trying to hit them. So let's see if I aim there. It's a little bit low. And oh yeah, we got him. Alright, let's see if we can hit him again. Nah, we missed. But they're on their way. So let's do the same and get out of their hair before they decide to come back. And it's time to get rid of these buildings. I'm going to start with the one right in the middle, and this is going to take some chopping, some picking, and of course breaking some glass. Lovely. And the first house is down. Just a few more blocks, and let's just grab these and get started working on the second house. So here we go. And with the first 2 houses demolished, it's time to give a little bit of shape to the bottom of the lake. So we're just going to dig away some dirt here. And we've found a deep hole. So let's go see what is going on inside here. And it seems that we have... Yes, here's one of my missing Fletchers. I'll get you out in a second, buddy. And that would be one of my missing librarians. Now, there's not much that I can do for the librarian at the moment, but I can get my Fletcher out of here. And there we go. Come on up. Is a nice road all the way to the surface for you. Let's get you out of there, because it's time for you to get back to work. Come on. And we've demolished all the houses in the middle of the lake, we've built a little island, and we've made a road that's going to connect up with that little island via a bridge. And it's going to look fantastic. But it's time to get started on this damn wall. We'll just have some lunch and get back to planning. And I have got most of the wall in place. Just a few more blocks that need to go in over here. I've shaped it and reshaped it, and I must say that the final product is absolutely awful. I hate it, and I'm going to need to redesign the entire thing. I think perhaps we need to go a bit simpler, maybe some straighter lines, which will allow me to build something that's going to be a lot easier and a lot better looking. So let's take it down. And we've almost managed to tear down the entire wall that we've put down, and this has taken a lot longer than I would have liked. But the new redesigned wall is now in place, and as you can see, we've got some straighter lines which will allow me to do a bit more design work on the outside of it without having to worry about the curves. Now the next part of the project requires me to go down into a mine somewhere and collect hundreds of blocks of stone. But we'll skip that part and get straight to the building. And the wall is in place and it is looking mighty formidable. I think once I have some detailing done on the outside, it's gonna look brilliant. And as you can see, there's also a second island that I've built in the front here, and we're gonna connect that up to the first one with some more bridges. And now that I have a design I'm happy with, I can start filling this thing with some water. And this is gonna be a big job. So we're gonna start out over here on the far end of the lake, grabbing some water and plonking it down against the sides. And that one didn't form a water source. That is quite odd, but it's alright. We've got plenty of water in the middle here, so let's just grab that and put it down over there. And we're almost done with the first layer of water, and I was right indeed. This is a gargantuan task, but no matter, we shall persevere, and we won't stop until this entire valley has been flooded. So we're almost there. I think just a few more buckets on this side, and then the second layer of water will be... Oh, okay, it filled itself in. That's fantastic. Let's take a look at what we've achieved so far. And that is rather underwhelming, but no matter. We will get started on the other side, and luckily, we can fast forward this. And our lake is filled in, and as you can see, we've got the two little islands peeking out over there, and I think it is looking rather splendid. I'll still see what I want to do exactly with those islands, but I think we are off to an excellent start here. And we have a slight issue, as these pillagers have found their way into my sniffer pen. And I'm not exactly sure how to get rid of them, because if I just go in swinging my sword around, I might hit my sniffers, and I really don't want that. So I'm going to see if I can take them out with my bow. Let me just get over here, and and they're shooting, and they have hit my sniffer. They have hit my sniffer. Okay, I need to get those guys out of there as quickly as possible. Let me think. Alright, I think first things first, let's get some milk. I don't want to start a raid, because that is awfully close to the village. Then, I think I just have to go gung-ho, get in there, and get rid of those raiders. So here we go. Alright, let's take out the leader first. And there we go, next guy. And finally, let me just drink my milk quickly. Let's get this oak. And there we go. And once it stops raining and the light returns, we'll check out the results. And the results is terrible, terrible indeed. We only have 2 sniffers left. These vile villains have murdered one of my sniffers. So let me replant these bushes, get rid of this cursed paraphernalia, and then decide what we're going to do about this situation. And as you can see, Snuff's pen is empty. Poor Snuff has been slain. And just look at them, searching for their lost friend. But I'm sorry guys, Snuff is not coming back. But what's that you've got there, boy? Let me see. Oh, torchflower seed. That means we are able to bring back new life to this tragic place. And there we have it, a brand new egg from which we will hatch a new sniffer. And it will never replace Snuff, but at least it will bring back some joy. And here we say goodbye to Snuff. He was absolutely brilliant. He loved sniffing, he loved digging, and he will be sorely, sorely missed. Thank you, Snuff. We will always cherish the short time that you spent with us. So leave a like in memory of Snuff and the brave sacrifice he made in the never-ending fight against the pillagers. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to be the first to meet the new member of our family. But this is Fungusaurus Rex saying, until next time, beautiful people, stay awesome. Bye-bye. I've been rather bad. Why have I been bad? Well, I make Minecraft videos as a hobby. And as a hobby, any time I get to spend doing it should be treated as precious and used wisely. Now, over the last week, I have done anything but that. Over the last week, I've spent most of my precious time playing the new Phasmophobia update, and while there's nothing wrong with that, it has led to me worrying that I might not get this video done anytime soon. However, as you can see, I have rose to the occasion, and this video is complete. Now, if you appreciate the effort, make sure you leave a like, and hey, if you haven't done it already, give that old subscribe button a click. And so, let's get into today's episode. And we're starting off on a happy note. As you can see, we have a new member in our little family. We have a wee little snifflet over here. Our egg has finally hatched, and just look at this little guy walking around sniffing like it's his job, which it is of course, but it's so brilliant to see him. Anyway, he doesn't have a name yet, so if anybody has any suggestions, pop them in the comments below, and who knows, you could be the one naming the new member of our little family. But now it's time to get to work, and we have a lot of building to do, so let's get started right away. And the first thing we need to do is collect some materials. And of course, the first thing we're going to need is, surprise, surprise, some stone. So let's just grab a few stacks of this grey gold over here. And then next we're going to need a healthy dose of andesite. And fortunately we've got some right here. Next up, some deep slate, and we're going to need some tuff as well. So what I'm hoping for is that as we dig out the deep slate, we run into a tuff deposit. But first things first, let's have a spot of lunch and then we'll get back to mining a few stacks of deep slate. And like clockwork, there's somebody trying to spoil our party. So we're just going to yeet this guy into the abyss. There we go. And then we'll get back to mining our deep slate. And we are in luck because right here in this corner we do indeed have some tuff. So let's grab a few stacks of that, and that should pretty much give us everything we need to get started on today's builds. Now at this stage the plan was to treat you guys to a spectacular time lapse of me texturing the wall and building the wooden supports. However, we had a bit of a power outage and all of my recordings got corrupted. So instead, you now get to watch me chop some wood. Not a great trade-off, but that's what we got. However, I can show you the final result, and here we go. As you can see, we've got some deep slate in there, we've got some tuff in there, and I think those wooden pillars are looking mighty strong. And that pretty much concludes the first part of today's build. I think it is looking great so far. Now we just need to add a few more details to the wooden supports over here, and I'm just going to pop down these trapdoors. And once this is done, we can get on with the second part of today's build. But for that, we're going to need a few materials, and I thought I still had some sand left. As it turns out, I am fresh out. So we're here in the desert, and the first thing we're going to grab is a few stacks of sand. And while we're out and about, I thought it might be a good idea to come and check out this pillager outpost. Now it's quite weird, I haven't run into any pillagers yet, but I'm going to let this iron golem out, and as soon as they do show up, he can take care of them, and they won't be my problem. So now that he's free, I can take my time and check if there's anything valuable to be had here. On this side, we've got two more cages, and unfortunately, no allays in them. So let's make our way to the top and check out the chest, and we've got a bottle of enchanting and a bunch of rubbish. Now I thought for a second I heard the iron golem yeeting somebody down there, so it seems like the big guy is doing his job. And yes, the pillagers have arrived, and yeah, big guy has taken care of them. So while everything is still quiet on this front, I'm going to be getting out of here because there is still a lot of work to be done. And back at base, I have made some grey concrete powder, which now needs to be turned into grey concrete. And for that, I'm going to be building a stack-high tower, just because I can. Usually I would do this differently, but I felt like shaking it up a bit today. So here we go, one stack-high tower of grey concrete powder. And of course that allows us to jump down into the lake. So all we need to do now is grab our pickaxe and mine the bottom block. The top blocks will fall in and turn into grey concrete. And there were just a few blocks that got away somehow, but we have taken care of them, and with grey concrete in hand, it is time to start the next part of our build. And the dam wall is finally complete, and if I do say so myself, it is looking absolutely fantastic. And we have some intruders in the sniffer pen. Now I have no idea what these guys are doing in there, however, they need to get out. You don't see my sniffers going over to the village and sniffing around their goods. So let's just see. There's 2 more guys over there. This is not the place, guys. Come on, get out of there. If you would, sir, please leave the sniffer pen in an orderly fashion. And you back there, I see you. Get out of there as well. Thank you very much. Now stay out. And now that our sniffer pen is free of intruders, we can get back to building. And we're going to be building some bridges next, because we want to hook up both sides of the dam to the island in the middle, and then have a third bridge going from the one island to the other. So without any further ado, let's get building. And our 3 bridges are complete. As you can see, these 2 are still standing quite strong. However, the third one over there, well, that's taken a bit of a beating over the years. And as you can see, it has fallen apart somewhat. However, it is still functional and we can still cross from the one side to the other. But we still have a lot more building to do today, and for that we're going to need some more materials. Now the next 2 things that I need is some dark oak and some mud. Now the mud I know where to get. I'm just going to grab that over at spawn, and my goodness, that wall is looking fantastic. Anyway, as I was saying, I can grab some mud at spawn, but I haven't found a dark oak forest just yet. Now I've been looking around. In that direction is spawn, behind the village is just some forest, and to the other side I haven't discovered any dark oak. So I'm going off in this direction, and I'm going to see if I can locate a dark oak forest. Now I think the best course of action is to just run in a straight line and hope I find something good. And there's another pillager outpost over here, so let's see what's up. And this one actually has some pillagers in it. So let's just take care of that guy. There's another one over here with an enchanted crossbow, so if I stop falling down cliffs I can perhaps take care of him. There we go. And another one up here on the hill. Another cage, no allays in it. And we've got another customer right over here. One more pillager to take care of, and now we can go and explore the tower. And in the chest we have, we got a goat's horn, but other than that, 1 or 2 pieces of iron and nothing else of interest really. So I think let's just loot all of the goodies that we can over here, and I think there's another guy down there who is now inside the tower. One more guy over here. And now I think it's time for us to stop messing about with the pillagers and go look for that dark oak forest once again. And we've been traveling for quite a few blocks. We haven't found a dark oak forest just yet, but we have found another village. So while I'm here, I'm gonna pop in, see what these guys have to offer. And brewing stand, I will be taking that, thank you very much. But other than the brewing stand, not a lot to offer. However, there's a beehive down there, and there are a bunch of bees. Now, I've only got 1 bee back at base, so these guys will be very, very handy indeed. Now, while I'm waiting for night to fall, I'm just going to go check out this area over here, see if I can see something useful. And because the sun is still way high up in the sky, I've got a little bit of waiting to do. But if we're in luck, we will spot a dark oak forest in that direction. And there's no dark oak forest, but there's a massive chasm, and just standing on the edge of this thing makes my feet hurt. Now, I suffer from a bit of acrophobia, so one of the weird effects of that is whenever I look down into a big drop, my feet start hurting. So just for future reference, if I say this makes my feet hurt, it means it triggers my acrophobia. So anyway, I think it's about to get dark, so let's go get our bees. And it is night, our bees are in the hive, let's go chop it down. There we go, total bee location, and of course there's a zombie who's coming to spoil our party once again. But in order to pick up our beehive, we need to get rid of something first, and yeah, let's chuck that and let's grab our bees. And I've been traveling for quite a few more blocks, and I have come across another village. No dark oak forest just yet, but let's see if these guys have anything useful. And so far, it's not looking good. Few more houses over there. Let's just run over there, pop our head in, see if we can spot a chest with some goodies inside. Ooh, this will have a chest. And of course, it is filled with bread and a compass. Not exactly what we're after, so just a few more houses to check out, and then we'll be on our way once again. And another village, another total bust. But we've got some green up ahead, and hopefully that will translate into a dark oak forest. First, of course, we'll need to wade through this river over here, but no matter, we shall persevere. And I just saw a pop of red mushroom over there, and that can only mean we have finally found our dark oak forest. And yes, there we have it, the precious dark wood. Let's grab ourselves a few saplings. And we have single-handedly wrought havoc on this copse of what is no doubt very rare and endangered trees. But we've got a bunch of saplings, we've got a bunch of wood, and we can finally go home. So I think I saw a few more saplings in this direction. There we go, we've got 21, and it's time that we made our way back home and completed today's builds. And we've got another beehive over here. I'm just going to grab that. That, however, means we need to get rid of something else. And I think I'm going to yeet my crafting tables. I've got a lot of wood on me. I can make another one very easily if I need to. But as you can see on the horizon, home is just around the corner. So let's make our way down this cliff over here. Navigate this weird little piece of terrain, and then as soon as we get to the other side, our warm cozy bed is just a few blocks away. And now that we've put down all of our goodies, we can finally go and get the last item we need to complete today's builds, and that is some mud. So we are heading back to spawn, and we're gonna dig out just a few stacks of mud, and of course I have no boat, so let's just make ourselves a boat. And I have no crafting table either because I got rid of them when I picked up my beehive, so let's just pop that down there, and then we'll make ourselves another bamboo raft because these things are just absolutely brilliant. So let's head to spawn, and there it is, the mangrove swamp where it all began. And that is where we will find our final building block that we need today. We are going to dig up some mud. Now, I'm not entirely sure how much durability digging up mud uses, but it seems to be doing quite a number on my shovel. But fortunately, we've almost got enough. I think we've got about 6 stacks or so by now. So just a few more and we'll be able to head back home. And we've got a bunch more here that I just can't resist digging up because it's quite a trip out here, and at the moment I don't feel like coming back anytime soon. So we'll just grab a few more stacks. I think I've got about 9 or 10 by now, but I think that should be enough. So let's get on our boat. Yeah, that looks about right. And then let's get home and let's finish this build. And we're heading over to the second island, because that's where the next piece of magic is going to happen. We're going to build an old ruined tower over here. Well, half of it's going to be on the island, and half of it is actually going to be in the lake. So, first things first, let's mark out exactly where we want to build. And with that done, it's time to start building. Here we go! The tower is complete, a crumbling relic of a bygone age. There is, however, another relic of a bygone age in this village, one brimming with life, an absolutely beautiful beacon cherished by the people, as you shall soon see. And there we have the ancient tree, standing proud on the island in the middle of the dam, a beacon to the people of hope, prosperity, and life. And we've added in a little hydroponic farm over there to replace the one I destroyed in the previous episode. And with all of that, our work for today is done. I think the dam is looking absolutely magnificent. We've still got some work to do on this side, as I want to add a canal system running water from the dam to the lake at the bottom. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Hardcore. Now, in the previous episode, we did a lot of work on our dam, and it's starting to really look like something special. And in this episode, we're gonna continue that good work. We also have a few other things planned for today, so let's get busy. Now, the first thing I need to do is gather some resources, and yes, that means we're heading out to the mesa to go and collect some terracotta, because I want to use terracotta to build me a little village on the bank of the dam. So here we go, we're at the mesa, and we're gonna grab a few stacks of each color. So without any further ado, let's get started and collect ourselves a few tons of terracotta. And we're back, and our pockets are absolutely packed to the brim with every color of terracotta you can think of. We've got some red, we've got some white, we've got some gray, we've got some normal terracotta, and then we're gonna grab some yellow and blue dye and make ourselves some yellow and blue terracotta as well. But first things first, we have a building in the way, which means we need to destroy it. So here we go, a little bit of chopping, a little bit of picking, and just a few blocks left. And there we go, our canvas is ready for us to start creating. And the first thing we're going to need to do is a little bit of landscaping, and then we'll get straight into building. and our village is starting to take shape. As you can see, we've done the rough outlay of the land, and now we're going to start doing a little bit of texturing. And we're going to start off with these walls. Just add a bit of mossy cobblestone, some bricks, some mossy bricks, and already it's starting to look a lot more alive. But right now we've just got a few more blocks that we need to place here, so let's just grab our pickaxe and place these final few blocks. Next up, we're gonna add some fences. So here we go. We're just taking a few oak fences, we're gonna put them up all over the place, then we'll take a step back and see how the village is progressing. And it's coming along well, however, it is still in need of some detailing, some texturing, and of course, some doors and windows. So I think next up we'll tackle the windows. And here we go. Every hole gets a window pane, so pop a few of them in here. And then it's time to do a little detailing. I'm going to start over here and replace some of these mud bricks with some normal packed mud. Next up, it's time to add some bushes, and we're going to grab these oak leaves and just scatter them all around. And then a little bit of detailing is in order, so we're going to add some buttons over here and on this corner as well. And then next up, I'll add a few barrels, because somehow barrels just have the ability to make a place look lived in. So let's put one down here on this end. And then finally, it's time to add some roads. And I'm just going to do dirt roads for now. I might change this to paved roads later on, but for now it's just for us to get an overall impression of what the place looks like. And so far, I must say, I really do like what I'm seeing. Just a little bit of detailing still left to be done, and then it's ready for the villagers to make the big move from the old village to the new one. And taking a bird's eye view of the entire place, it is looking rather spectacular. I think just a few more potted plants and the like, a few lanterns, and this part of the village will be done. But now it's time for me to go back to the place that I hate the most. The place that has cost me 2 previous hardcore worlds. Ladies and gentlemen, it is finally time for me to go to the Nether. So we've got our portal ready, and here we go. And just taking a quick look around, we didn't have too bad of a spawn. We're able to reach the bottom with relative ease. We've got a warped forest as well as a crimson forest right next to our spawn. And although this might be a little bit premature, I have a feeling that the Nether is going to be kind to us this time. So there we go, there's our portal. I've created a little hidey hole over here for me to hide in case something should start chasing me. And from our hidey hole, I'm going to set off in search of a nether fortress, because I need to get some blaze rods, I need to get some ender pearls, and then I need to find the end portal. Mainly because I'm tired of having limited inventory space. I want some shulker boxes, and I want an elytra. And fortunately, nothing I'm doing here is dangerous at all. Just a few dozen blocks between me and the lake of lava below. However, this is the only way to get across, as I seem to be stuck on a little island over there. And we survived the lava bridge, and we've made it through to the warp forest over here. And from here, I think we'll continue north. And just look at this feat of engineering, a super safe road, but we have to go in that direction now in search of that elusive nether fortress. And the biomes, they are a-changing, which hopefully is a sign that we're getting close to what we seek. So let's dig through here and see what we have on the other side. And finally, we have found it. We have a nether fortress over there, so what I'm gonna do is just create a safe little road for me to reach it first of all, and then we'll go poking around, looking for some blaze rods, perhaps a few wither skeleton skulls, and maybe some good loot from the chests in there. So first things first, I'm going to dig out the road here and then build a little barricade to keep us safe from whatever is spawning over there. And we've got a wee bit of a problem. We've got a wither skeleton over there, which normally isn't too bad. However, we have a zombie piglin over there as well, and I really don't want to accidentally hit him. As you might recall, that was how I lost my last hardcore world. I accidentally hit one of those guys while fighting some blazes with my bow and arrow, and about 2 minutes later, it was all over. So I'm trying not to make that same mistake this time. I'm gonna let them get out of the way, and then I'll take care of the wither skeleton. And with the zombie piglin safely out of the way, we can take care of the wither skeleton, and we can finally enter the fortress. So, let's put down a few torches to mark our entrance and get exploring. And we've already found a chest full of goodies, and we've got 2 diamonds and a smithing template. So we're off to a good start. However, my inventory is already full of absolute rubbish. So I think I'm just going to chuck a few of the unwanted blocks in here, grab my smithing template, and we'll explore further. And we've got another chest over here. 2 saddles, 2 pieces of gold. Unfortunately, no diamonds this time. And we've got a dead end over here, so let's backtrack. And we found another chest. Let's just light up here, and it seems my chests are just getting worse. But finally, we found a blaze spawner, which is partially covered and in a protected location. So I think what I'm going to do is turn this into a little makeshift blaze farm. First things first, let's place some blocks so that we don't get attacked from behind. And then we'll create a little doorway over here where we can go through, and we can safely take out these blazes, because there's already a ton of them that have spawned. And I think I'm going to take this one out with my sword because he's close. And then I'm going to switch over to my bow because there's a lot of them. So yeah, take it slow and steady. Just take care of most of them with my bow. I think that's about 2 or 3 down. Let's go have a look. Oh, no. Let's get back in here, and we'll have to carry on with our bow for now. And we've managed to bring the blaze population down to manageable levels. Just the odd 1 or 2 spawning every now and then, which we can easily take care of. And with blaze activity at a low, we can finally build our little makeshift blaze farm. So I'm going to cover up the entire roof. Just a few more blocks that I need to put in here. And then they won't be able to fly off out of reach, and we should be able to manage them effectively. So I see they're spawning again. Let's take care of this guy. There we go. And then let's just pop in a few blocks on this end. So just fill up the roof here. I think that should be fine. Let's see if we can get a block over there. And we've got a little door over here now, so that will keep the fireballs out. And I'm just going to take out this guy over here, which gives us 32 blaze rods. I think that is enough. I'm not going to be greedy. I'm going to take my 32 blaze rods, and I am getting out of here. And this warped forest is absolutely packed with endermen. I need some ender pearls to make eyes of ender. So I'm just going to annoy these guys over here. There we go. He's very angry. But I've got a little hidey hole, which is going to keep me safe. So let's take out Mr. Enderman as soon as he stops running away. And then we'll collect his pearl. Get rid of that, and let's collect a few ender pearls. So we've collected 7 ender pearls so far. I'm back in my little hideout near the portal. I'm going to grab some of this gold. And then I'm going to see if I can trade with some of the piglins around here to see if they will give me a few more ender pearls. And, excuse me, buddy. Dude, seriously? Excuse me. Okay, there we go. Let's go see if we can trade for some pearls. I'll just grab my gold. And so far the trading has not gone well. I've got some gravel, I've got some fire charges, and this guy just seems interested in giving me a load of nonsense. So I think I might need to go back to fighting endermen for ender pearls. I'm gonna collect my gold. These guys are not interested in good trades. And we've got a bit of a situation going on up here. I have no idea what this is all about, and I'm not sure I want to find out. I think that's definitely some sort of cult, and I want absolutely no part of it. So I am getting out of the nether and heading back home right now. And we're back home, and first things first, we have some important business to take care of. Thanks to Daniel Dayson, we finally have a name for our new sniffer. We've got Snoof, we've got Snort, and now, ladies and gentlemen, please everybody say welcome to Snoot. So here we go, he gets his own personalized name tag. No. Snoot, there we go. And with that done, I think it's time that we went in search of the end portal. So we've created some Eyes of Ender, and we're ready to set off in search of the end portal. So here we go, let's have a little bit of food first. I think we've got enough. Yeah, we've got some golden carrots, we've got some potatoes. And now it's time to throw the first Eye of Ender. So here we go, let's launch it, and it's going in that direction, and it has disappeared. And harvesting my entire sugarcane field in search of that missing Eye of Ender, I finally found it hiding in this oak tree next to the cow pen. So let's get up there quickly and let's grab our Eye of Ender and continue on our journey. So down we go. And I have no idea how far away this thing is, but it's taking me still in this direction. So we're just going to keep following these eyes. We've already lost 2 due to breakage, so I hope it's not too much further. And it seems we have sort of arrived at the spot where it could be. I was over in that direction, it sent me here, and now it sent me back. So I think it might be underwater here. Now I've lost another 2 eyes as they just went into the ground and never resurfaced. So I'm just going to say it's over here, and I'm going to start digging. So I'm building a pillar up here with some dirt. I'm not entirely sure why. I thought I might make a sort of a tunnel that I can go down, but I don't have that much dirt. So I'm just going to start digging, and we've reached Deep Slate. I can hear zombies, we've got water, and yes, here we are. We have reached the stronghold. So let's get these dug out, and let's get in there. And after a lot of searching, I have finally found the portal room. There's a lot of dead ends over here, but we found the portal room, and first things first, let's get rid of this spawner, and then I think I'm just going to get my bearings and perhaps see where exactly this is in relation to where I came in. And I recognize that fountain. It is literally around the corner from where I came in, yet I've been sitting here for well over half an hour looking for it, and yeah, 11 eyes missing. I have got 5, which means I'm not going to be able to ignite this portal right now. I have to go back home. I have to get some more ender pearls, and I have to craft some more Eyes of Ender. But before we go back, I am looking for the libraries, and I found the first one. Hopefully there's a second. It's quite a large stronghold, so I assume there's going to be a second one. And here we have, eye armor trim. That's fantastic. Now we need to get rid of some crap once more, and I think the dirt can stay, and perhaps the copper can stay. And then I'm going to grab my armor trim. Piercing 4, power 4, not bad, I'll take that. And I found the second library. Let's see what goodies these chests hold. And we have another armor trim, and that's it. Not very fantastic. But let's go see what we have upstairs. Maybe there's an awesome book in the chest there. Let's go straight over, have a look, and one more armor trim. Okay. Well, I'm getting out of here. I'm simply going to dig my way out and head home. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Hardcore. Now in the previous episode, we finally made our way to the end portal. However, once we got there, we were a little bit short on Eyes of Ender. So we've come all the way back home. We're going to grab a few more Eyes of Ender, and then we'll head back and finally activate and go through the end portal. Because we have a massive build planned for today, and we're not going to do that without an elytra or shulker boxes. So let's go grab some more Eyes of Ender, and then let's get back to the end portal. And it seems we've run into a little bit of a problem, as we have a grand total of 1 ender pearl at our disposal. So that means we either need to train up a cleric or head back into the nether to go and fight some more endermen. But I'm going to go with option A first and see if we can train up a cleric and buy some ender pearls from him. And things have not gone as planned. As you can see, we've got this cleric trained up all the way to master level, and we don't have an ender pearl trade, which means it's time to head back to the nether, get some more ender pearls, make some more eyes of ender, and then make our way back to the end portal. However, before we do that, there's something that I have been meaning to do for a long time, and up until now I simply haven't gotten around to it yet. And that is taking care of the chicken hole. As you can see, we've got a bunch of idiots constantly falling into the chicken hole, and I think it's time to get rid of the chicken hole and create a chicken pen. So let's grab our shovel, let's level out a bit of dirt, and then we'll build a chicken pen. And as much fun as it was to be followed around by a wave of chickens, I can happily say that the chicken pen is finally complete. There's no more chicken hole for the idiots to fall into, so we can get on with today's business. And first things first, we will need to make our way to the nether and grab some more ender pearls. So let's get rid of these eggs and head out. Now I've been back in the nether for a while, and technically I have enough ender pearls to make the eyes of ender that I require. However, it doesn't hurt to always take a little bit extra. So let's annoy Mr. Enderman over there, run to our little hole and see if he wants to part with his pearl. So 1 or 2 more whacks ought to do it as soon as he stands still. And no pearl from Mr. Enderman. But we've got 5 so far. And it should be enough, but let's just take a few extra because it is quite a way to travel and I don't feel like coming back again. And there's 1 more pearl. As soon as we get rid of this guy over here, we'll see if he drops us another one. And nope, he did not. But I think that gives us 7 pearls in total, which is enough to activate the end portal and have 1 or 2 to spare. So with our business in the nether concluded, let's get out of here as soon as we take out Mr. Enderman over there. And we're almost back at the end portal. But this is the second time that I've come here since going to the nether, because the first time when I tried to place the last eye of ender, I accidentally threw it instead of placing it. It went into the roof somewhere and I couldn't do that. So as you can see up there, we've got a big hole that I've dug out looking for my errant ender pearl. I did not find it. I had to go make a few more. But here we are, end portal activated, and I think it's time to go and fight the dragon. And this is actually brilliant. We're encased in a box of endstone, so we don't need to build our own. We're quite safe in here. So let's just pop down a crafting bench. Let's pop down a chest as well, and then we can just get rid of all the extra crap that we brought with us, and it won't be in our way when we try and fight the Ender Dragon. And here we go. First things first, let's take out the end crystals. There we go, first one down, and a bunch more to go. One up here. And I think that should either be the last one or next to last one. So let's just build up. I think there's one more somewhere. Perhaps over this way. And there it is. So let's take care of that. And then we can get busy with killing the dragon. And I'm going to be fighting like a total weenie. I'm going to stand up here. I'm going to shoot the dragon with arrows. I'm not going to take any chances whatsoever. Because if I die here, I will be quite sad indeed. So I'm just going to stay perched on top of the tallest tower over here, and every time the dragon comes close, I'll just pepper her with arrows until eventually I am victorious. And just a few more to go. I think we can get this done. Oh yeah, one more, and missed. And missed again. And there we go. We have done it. The dragon is dead, so let's make our way down, collect our experience, and then find ourselves an elytra and some shulker boxes, which is, after all, the main reason we came here today. So let's make our way up to the portal, which hopefully is going to take us to an end city. And if luck is with us, we'll find a ship and an elytra. And we're here, so let's pop this trapdoor right over there, slam it shut, and then crawl through the portal as soon as we've had a little bit of a something to eat. Here we go. And that is quite a terrifying place to spit us out, but no matter, we are safe and there's an end city right there. Now, I'm not 100% sure if there's actually a ship at that end city, but let's make our way across and see what we're dealing with. And unfortunately, this end city does not have a ship. Hopefully there's another one nearby that... Oh, yes, indeed there is. There's another one right over there, and this one does indeed have a ship. So let's make our way there and bridge up to the ship. And as soon as we get up there, we're going inside immediately. If I fall from this height, I'm pretty much guaranteed to die because I absolutely suck at MLG water buckets. But we're inside, and once we've taken care of the shulker, we can get our elytra, and there we go. The sky's the limit. I think I'm going to put that on immediately just to give me some protection in case I fall. And along with our elytra, we have our first shulker shell. So let's see what goodies are in these chests. I think I'm going to take the chest as well, just so I can make some shulker boxes as I go and stow some of these many pieces of nonsense that I'm carrying around. So let's see, what do we want? What do we need to leave? I think we are alright with that. I'll grab the item frame too, because I do like item frames. And then we'll go visit the rest of the city and get ourselves some more shulker shells. And we have collected quite a few shulker shells. However, I just want a few more. Let's see if we can get to this guy without him lofting us up in the air. And oh, no. Okay, never mind. We are going up. But I think we probably have enough shulker shells, so I'm just going to have some food, and then I think I will be making my way back to the portal, because I have a ton of building still to do in this episode, and I want to get to it. So here we go. We're at the portal, where we're going in, and we are heading back home. And with that, we have completed Minecraft, which means I can start building. And today's build will probably be the biggest one that I have done to date, which is why I was so anxious to get my hands on an elytra and shulker boxes. And first thing we're going to need to do is clear out a ton of space, because there's nowhere big enough or flat enough for me to complete this build at the moment. So let's get up there, chop down some trees, dig out some soil, and hopefully pretty soon we'll be able to start our build. And as you can see, I have also been breeding an army of cats, and that can only mean my next build is going to incorporate a creeper farm. Now that I have an elytra, I'm going to need a ton of rockets, and for that I will need tons of gunpowder. So, without any further ado, let's build a creeper farm. And one very short time lapse later, I have managed to completely screw up my creeper farm. This entire wall is one block too far that way. It needs to come out, and I need to build the entire thing one block wider. But our creeper farm is now fixed. It is the correct width, and in no time we should be getting plenty and plenty of gunpowder. Which means it's time to move on to the next item on our list, and as we're going to be needing tons of glass, I have to build a super smelter. But it's not going to be a very big smelter, so I suppose we can call it a semi-super smelter. I'm going to make it 6 furnaces wide. Here we go. 6 hoppers over there leading into the chest, and then let's just pop our 6 furnaces on top. And with a little bit of decoration, our semi-super smelter is now complete, and as you can see, we are getting plenty and plenty of glass. And I think that is the last item we will need to prepare for our big build today. So let's get started on the biggest build I have ever done in hardcore Minecraft. Here we go. And there we go, ladies and gents, our temple, cathedral, call it what you will, is complete. And I think it is looking absolutely fantastic. It is quite an imposing sight to stand in front of it and look up at its lofty peaks. And with our main build for today completed, there's one more thing that we need to do. I only noticed while I was editing this video that I never collected the dragon egg. So it's time for me to head back to the end, make my way to the portal, and collect the ultimate prize in Minecraft, the dragon egg. So let's avoid all of these endermen. The egg is still perched on top of the portal, and let's just knock it off. Grab our torch, grab our pickaxe, and dig out a little hole underneath it. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 1 underneath. Place down our torch, and then dig out the one on top, and then we can get our dragon egg, which means that we have technically completed the game. We have the dragon egg, and we can head back home. And I think I'm going to place it right over here on my desk, along with all of the other artifacts that I'm busy studying, and perhaps I can unlock its secrets. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Hardcore. Now, in the previous episode we built our magnificent cathedral over there, and in this episode we're going to continue that good work as we are going to give the entire village a much needed makeover. And to start things up, we'll be cleaning up the mess we made while we were building the cathedral in the last episode. We've got a bunch of chests and shulker boxes strewn about, and we need to pick this up and clean out the village area before we can get building. Now, as you might recall, we built a super smelter, or semi-super smelter in this case, as well as a creeper farm inside the cathedral, but we've added a little something else to it. I have set up a very cheap and nasty storage area over here, just basically plonked down a few chests, and I've transferred everything that I've collected throughout the game in most of these chests. There's still a few things left in my home, but most of the stuff is right here. And I think I've got one more chest left over in the huts in the corner over there, but other than that I've collected all of the chests and shulker boxes that I've filled with a bunch of nonsense over time. And now that everything's cleaned up, I can finally start breaking down what I have created. And I'm going to start with a well over here because it's a fire sale. Everything has to go. So let's get this well out of the way, and then we'll get started on the other buildings. And this is quite interesting. Under the well we have another well, and I have no idea why it spawned two wells just out of sync with each other, but this is quite an interesting find. However, it's got to go, so I'm just going to get rid of the water over here. Let's get our mushroom blocks back, and I missed one right there in the corner, so let's plug that up, and then we'll get rid of the second well as well. And once that's done, we can turn our attention to the buildings. And I'm going to start right over here, just picking up some of the random stuff that's been left behind. All of this has got to be broken down, and although I've spent a lot of time planning and building these, and initially I was quite pleased with the results, I have grown to dislike it intensely, which means it no longer fits the aesthetic I have in mind, it no longer serves any purpose, and I've got to break down everything I have created. However, that will give me a chance to implement the fresh new look I have in mind, so let's start the destruction. And we almost have a clean slate, just a few more shulker boxes laying around, But it's time to start doing a bit of terraforming. So we're going to start right over here, and then we're going to carve out the landscape, tailoring the terrain in order to receive the brand new village. So first things first, we'll raise what needs to be raised, lower what needs to be lowered, and then we'll make way for some roads, some buildings, and a bit of nature. And taking a look from up here, it's clear that there is a ton of work to be done. We need to hide that villager breeder, we need to build up the terrain at the back of the mountain there, and finally, we need to refine this coastline. So, let's get busy. First things first, we're going to take some dirt away from the area on the right, and then use that dirt to build out the section at the top, creating a platform for a housing unit or perhaps a store of some sort where we can safely keep and trade with the villagers. Then at the front, we're going to build out the coastline a little bit to make way for a road that can lead up to the back section. And then we'll tackle the area to the right where we're going to be building the first house. And of course, the villager breeder needs to be covered up. Not because there's anything untowards happening down there, of course, but just to keep it out of sight and out of mind. And with that done, we'll get to work on finishing the back platform and start making way for some roads. And now that we have a better idea of what the layout is going to be, we can start putting the final touches on the areas we're going to be building on. And with the terraforming almost complete, we'll start adding in some retaining walls to all the different areas and terraces. We'll start at the back and work our way around, all around the waterfront. But first, we'll create some space for the roads as well as our river that's going to be running from the back into the lake. And finally, the terraforming is done, which means it's time to start installing the roads. Now I've played around with a few variations in my creative world, and finally I've decided that I'm going to be using some bricks and some granite, which always gives a beautiful upscale look to any road. But there's one problem. As you can see, I am fresh out of bricks, which means it's time to visit the lush cave. Now I've flown past this particular rock formation a few times, and I'm always amazed at how much it looks like a church tower with a big clock on it, but that's not why we're here. We are here for the lush cave right behind it. And inside we're going to be digging out just a few metric tons of clay. Now fortunately I haven't done much clay gathering around here, so we've still got plenty on offer. So with trusty shovel in hand, let's get ourselves a few shulker boxes full of clay balls. I think one or two ought to do it, but who knows, maybe we'll grab just a little bit more. And there we go, we have gathered all the clay we need, so it's time to head back home and get these puppies in the semi-super smelter. And our clay is cooking beautifully, which means it's time to build some roads. And as you can see, we finally finished installing all of the roads, as well as our river, some bridges going over the river, and the floor plans for all of the houses that we're going to build. We've also added in some railings, just a little bit of detailing, one or two lamps to light the streets, and I think we are just about ready to get started on building all of the houses for the brand new village. So let's fly down there and let's get busy building the first of 5 houses that we're going to be building today. And our first house is complete. I've added in a little bit of flowers just to give it a little bit more life. And I must say, I think it is looking absolutely gorgeous. We've got a little porch roof over there made out of campfires. We've got a custom tree over here. And from every angle, it is looking absolutely beautiful. So, with one down, we have got 4 more to go, and this wasn't the biggest one of the lot, but it wasn't the smallest either. So we've got a few more of various sizes, and I must say I really do love the tone that this has set for the village. And finally, the first section of the village is complete. As you can see, I've added in a road coming over this way where I'm going to make the farming sector, and I've added in a little park complete with a few custom trees and a pond because the lake doesn't have enough water already. And we've added in a ton of bushes, a ton of flowers, and just look at it. Absolutely stunning. I've also done a little bit of work on the cathedral itself. As you can see, I've replaced the deep slate pillars with some spruce and added in a bit of deep slate slabs. But just walking over in this direction, all the custom trees that I've added in here is looking absolutely gorgeous. It gives the entire town a lively vibe and ties it together beautifully. And I think the river that runs through the middle was a beautiful touch. We've also got a dock over here where the people can have some boats which they can use to go boating on the lake. And of course, we've got some more custom trees up here. We've got some ropes with banners going over the top. And over here, we have the Dino and Sniffer Inn, which is the tavern, of course. So up top here, we've got the big housing units, and I think everything is looking absolutely gorgeous. There's a lot of detail around, and there's a lot of life throughout the entire town. Now, the one thing that you might notice is not present is villagers. And that is because I spent a few minutes AFK to try and gather some gunpowder. And unfortunately, my villagers had a nasty run-in with a zombie. However, there are still plenty of villagers left down in the villager breeder, and in the next episode, we will get some of those guys up here and teach them to be valuable members of society. However, this section of the village is now complete, and we'll be doing some more expansions in future episodes, but that'll involve taking down half a mountain, filling up another valley, and I have many more plans. And just taking a look at it with some shaders on, it is looking absolutely gorgeous. I really do love this new look of the village, and I'm so glad that this is the direction that I went with. Yes, I spent a lot of time and effort on the previous attempt with the little huts going up the side of the mountain, but just looking at this, it was worth tearing them down and starting over again. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Hardcore. Now in the previous episode we've done a lot of work on our village, and in this episode we're gonna continue that good work. But first, there's something that I've been putting off for quite a while, and today's the day that we finally do it. And that has brought us to the Nether. Now as you might have noticed, I do not yet have a single piece of netherite armor or gear. And the main reason for that is that since the 1.20 update, crafting netherite armor and gear has become a little bit more complicated. Instead of just mining some ancient debris, smelting it down and creating netherite ingots, you now also need a netherite upgrade smithing template. And in order to find one of those, you need to go to a bastion. Now because the Nether is not my favorite place, I have avoided doing that in previous versions of the game, but unfortunately I can no longer avoid it. And I'm sure that was exactly what the developers had in mind. I still can't say that I'm absolutely crazy about the idea, but unfortunately I no longer have a choice. So it's off to find a bastion for me, and hopefully within I will find that all precious netherite upgrade smithing template. Let's go explore the Nether. And I have located a bastion, and this is not going well at all. Oh goodness, that was much closer than I would have liked, but I survived. Let's have some food and then let's go explore this bastion, get our smithing template and get out of here as quick as we possibly can. Now there are some nice goodies in this chest, but I have not found a smithing template just yet, which means we'll have to poke around this bastion a little bit more and see if we can actually locate one. And judging from the amount of piglin brutes that are pouring out of this crevice, I suspect that there's something good behind this wall. Now fortunately I am just out of range for them, so I can take them out easily. And one more to go. And once we've taken care of this guy, we'll cross over and go see what's up there. And there are two chests here. There are some goodies in here, nothing fantastic, but sadly no netherite smithing template, which means either I am doing something wrong or I have been cheated. And since there's a good chance that I'm screwing this up, I might need to do a bit more research. And indeed, I was screwing it up. Apparently there are different kinds of bastions, and I need to find a treasure room bastion, which, judging from the pictures I've seen online, this is. So what I've learned from my research is I need to find the treasure room, which I think is in there, and inside I will find my coveted smithing template. So let's get rid of Mr. Skeleton and let's go see. And Mr. Piglin is in the way, but we've taken care of him and most of his buddies, so let's get in there and see what we're dealing with. Now, if I am correct, down there is where I will find the treasure pile, which means I need to make my way down there without getting killed. And so far so good. We've got about 1 million magma cubes to deal with, but they're not much of a threat. And now that I've taken care of them, I can turn my attention to this, which is what I came for. And inside we have our netherite smithing template. We also have a netherite scrap, some diamonds, and now I have the difficult task of deciding what goes and what stays, because in all my infinite wisdom I came to the Nether without my shulker box. And I've decided that this gold is coming with me, and apparently that is upsetting quite a few piglins. You can hear them getting very angry over there, but as long as I'm on this platform they can't get to me, so unless they have crossbows I am quite safe over here. I've built a little wall on the walkway over there so I can gather up all my treasure with leisure, and then I can get out of here. And we're back home, and I have managed to make a complete hash of my recording. My footage of me crafting my netherite items is lost to the ether. However, I have made some netherite leggings on which I have put Swift Sneak 3. I have my netherite pickaxe with Fortune 3, Mending and Unbreaking 3, and then my netherite axe with Unbreaking 3, Efficiency 3, Silk Touch, and Mending. But that was all the ancient debris I have, and before I can make any more netherite items, I will need to go mining for both ancient debris and diamonds. However, I will do that at a later stage. Right now, it's time to get building. And stage 1, the terraforming, is complete. It might still look a bit rough around the edges, but as soon as we start building and all the blocks fall into place, it's going to look absolutely fantastic. Now we've dug out a massive chunk over there by the temple. We've also done a little bit of work over there on the other side. We're going to have a nice waterfall coming down the mountain over here. We're going to build one more house, and in the center of it all, we're going to build a magnificent garden. But first things first, we have located another one of our idiots who like to fall into holes. We have one of our missing librarians down here, and this is very welcome news indeed. Since the zombie attack, I am extremely short on skilled workforce, and I am very happy indeed to see this guy over here. And I turned my back for a second to fetch him a lectern, and he has managed to disappear once again. I have been looking all over. I can, for the life of me, not locate my librarian. So I think it's time to cut my losses and get back to building. And this little section over here needs to be closed up, and with that done, I can finally start to build my garden, to build my house, and to build my bridge. So, with everything done and ready, let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. And everything has been laid out. We have our roads in place. We have our garden all laid out. We have some beautiful fountains coming down the side of the staircase. And right now, we are busy filling them with water. So as you can see, I've already done a little bit of work on this side, but there's still much more to be done. So let's pop some water down there, create an endless water source over there, and then let's get these little fountains spouting. And the one side is filled with water, and it is looking absolutely fantastic. Now it is time to do the same on the other side. So let's grab a bucket of water. Let's move over to the other side. And I think once both sides are filled up with water, this is going to look absolutely brilliant. And it is looking magnificent, which means it is time to carry on with the rest of today's build. And the house is done. The garden is almost done. We've got our waterfall running over here. We're just busy putting in the last of the water. We've done a lot of landscaping as well. And everything so far is turning out beautifully. I think just 1 or 2 more buckets needed on this side. And then we'll move on to the garden. And the waterfall is done and it's looking beautiful. Now let's turn our attention to the garden. As you can see, I've placed down some mangrove roots and waterlogged them, and the reason for that is because I want to use some coral instead of flowers. Now the problem with coral is that as soon as you take them out of the water, they die and they become horrible grey monstrosities. However, if you place them adjacent to a water block or a waterlogged block like mangrove roots, they will retain their color and remain looking beautiful. And the result is an absolute explosion of color. Exactly what I wanted down here. This area is looking gorgeous. I've added in a few small custom trees and I am over the moon with how this has turned out. The garden is looking beautiful. The waterfall is looking majestic, cascading down the side of the mountain. And in addition to that, we have one new house in our village. And if we take a look at everything that we've created today, it is fitting in absolutely perfectly. But now it's time to get busy with the biggest build of the day, and that will be the bridge going across the valley over there. As you can see, we've built the staircase leading up to it, and now it's time to fill all of this empty space over here with a beautiful bridge spanning across the valley, big majestic pillars going up, and eventually we'll probably put a river down here as well. But for now, our main focus is going to be the bridge, which will go from that side to that side. And I think this is going to be a good one. And our bridge is complete and everything is looking magnificent. We've got our new house over here. We've got the fountain and pools flanking the staircase over there, painting a serene picture. And on the other side, we have our magnificent waterfall coming down the mountain, looking absolutely beautiful. We also have our garden over here, and it is absolutely exploding with color. I do believe using the coral here was the best move I could have possibly made. And then finally, we have our bridge, the magnificent structure stretching the breadth of the valley, allowing the river to run underneath it and serving as a gateway to the next phase of our build. And all in all, our village is coming along very, very well indeed. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Hardcore. Now in this episode I'm going to be starting my biggest build in any form of the game ever. And that is quite a daunting task indeed, which means first of all we're going to be needing to do a little bit of preparation. And the first thing on our list is to get our villager trading center up and running. Now I have these lovely large buildings everywhere, and I have a bunch of villagers ready to go. So I'm going to be building a little bit of a trading center in this one over here. It's not going to be anything pretty, it just needs to be functional for now. So let's head down and meet the contenders. And as you can see, I've already set up a little bit of a curing station over here. I've got all the tracks laid out, and I've got my spot for my zombie, but no zombie just yet. But we've got the villagers down there, and I'm sure they are just itching to get out of their little cage down here, and we will accommodate them very, very shortly. But first things first, we need to wait for nightfall and then go outside to find ourselves a zombie. So let's do exactly that. And we've got a candidate on the way. He is right on my heels and he's coming down, and he has given up. He doesn't seem to be too keen to get into the hole. Let's see if we can lure him back in. Mr. Zombie, please follow me if you will, sir. And this zombie does not seem to want to climb into the hole, but there's another candidate approaching. In fact, I think there are several approaching indeed. Alright, and we've got one down here. Now let's see if we can just get in behind him and trap him in place. I might take some, I'm gonna take some damage here, but it's all worth it. There we go, the zombie is trapped, we've got him in place, and we are ready to start curing some villagers. But first things first, our zombie needs a name, and we're gonna call him Bob, because, well, purely because I thought it would be funny. But Bob is a very, very important part of this operation, and I think it is time to put him to work. And as you can see, we have got our first load of villagers all zombified, and now they are on the mend. Which means that pretty soon we'll be transporting these guys up to the trading center, where they will be given some important jobs. I'm mainly looking for some librarians, but maybe I'll have an armorer or two and a toolsmith, as those could come in very handy as well. And finally, we have a trading center chock full of librarians. We've got some armorers, we've got a toolsmith, and more importantly, we've got a way of getting some valuable experience. Now, along with that, of course, we have got all the things we need to make some excellent tools, and that should take us a long way in our project. There is a ton of work to be done. We quite literally have to move a mountain, and we're going to be needing all the XP we can get. We've got mending on all of our tools, so let's get busy. And even though we've got the best diamond pickaxe I could possibly get my hands on, it's got efficiency 5 on it, it's got silk touch, it's got unbreaking 3, and it's got mending, but it is still very, very slow. And at this speed, there's simply just no way that I'm going to be able to get this project done. That means we need a little extra help. It means we need a beacon. And for that, I will have to head once again back into the nether and gather up 3 wither skeleton skulls. Now, if you recall, this exact task is what ended my previous world, and I am not looking forward to it at all. But there's nothing that can be done. We need to do it, because otherwise there is simply no way that this build is ever going to get done. I've been at it for about an hour now, and I have barely made a dent in this mountain. So, with no other choices left, let's head back into the nether. And here we are on the hunt for wither skeletons, and straight away we've got one coming at us, and we're gonna do our best to stay alive, but this is not gonna be easy. So let's head out to a crossroads and see if we can get what we need. And there are an absolute ton of wither skeletons out here. I've built myself a little safe house where I can hide from the wither skeletons and the blazes, because I am having quite a rough time of it here. And so far I haven't gotten a... Oh yes, there we go, there we go. We have our first wither skeleton skull, and we have a spooky, scary skeleton. But this one is not spooky nor scary, so let's get rid of it and see if we can find some more. And this is not going well at all. These blazes are deadly accurate for some odd reason. I've got a bunch of wither skeletons on my tail, and I am rapidly losing health. So let's hide in our hidey box, have some food, and just wait for our health to regenerate. Let's just lure these skeletons back. No, oh no, this is not... I'm down to 1.5 heart. Food please, food please, food please. And my hearts are coming back up. And I'm just going to hang around here for just a minute, get all of my health back, maybe take out these guys while they are standing outside, and I should be safe in my box for the time being. Let's get the second guy over here. And not even a wither skeleton skull from... Oh no, I've got a blaze coming into my box. Out, darn blaze. And there we go. Alright, it should be safe now. Let's have some food and let's get our strength back up. And we have battled a few wither skeletons, and so far we have not yet found our second skull. So let's just carry on. And oh, look at that. We have our second wither skeleton skull. That is excellent indeed, which means we need only one more. And I've got, I think, 4 on my tail right now, so let's get rid of these guys. Hopefully one of them drops the last wither skeleton skull that we need, and I think we got it. I think we have all 3 wither skeleton skulls, and indeed we do, which means we can finally get out of the nether. And we are heading directly to the end because it gives us the easiest and safest way to kill the wither and get our nether star. Now, I'm not doing this to claim that I killed and battled the wither. I am doing this simply to make myself a beacon, which is something that I desperately need, and I'm going to do it as safely as I possibly can. So, I'm heading to the end, I'm going to trap the wither, and I'm going to get my star. And here we are. I am digging out a chamber underneath the portal. I've seen other people do this before, but I've never actually done it myself, which means I'll probably be doing a bit more research before I actually spawn this wither, because if I have a wither loose and floating about in the end, it will be very, very bad news indeed. So first things first, let's dig ourselves a nice chamber underneath the portal, and once that's done, we'll take it from there. And it is a very good thing that I did do some research, because I was about to do everything all wrong. But I am quite confident that I have got the gist of it. I'm going to spawn the wither now, and then I run. Simply because I don't want to get caught in the explosion, and it's gonna come soon as that wither is powered up. Let's just give it a moment. There we go, the explosion. And now we wait for the wither to suffocate. I'm not going to go closer. I'm just going to stand here. And this has been painful to watch. I've been sitting here for literally 5 minutes waiting for this wither to die. But at last, I have my nether star. And that means I can finally go home, make a beacon, and tackle that mountain. Now, I might try and battle the wither later again. But for now, all I need is the star. And here we go. We're grabbing some glass. We're grabbing our nether star. And then just 3 pieces of obsidian. And this will actually be the first time in a survival world that I have crafted my own beacon. So it is a proud moment for me indeed. There we go. We have a beacon. Now, as proud as I am to have this beacon, I have another problem. I don't have anything to build a pyramid with. I don't have enough iron, I don't have enough emeralds, I don't have enough gold, and I don't even have enough even if I put all 3 together. And that means I will be needing to build myself an iron farm. So here we go. And my iron farm has been constructed. I simply need a zombie, and there are plenty on offer. In fact, there are way too many over here. But I think the guy following me right now is the man for the job. Here he comes. He is very excited to get to work. And I see we've got another candidate down there, should this one not work out for some odd reason. But this is going to be quite easy. In he goes, and that should be all we need. And it sounds like we have already spawned an iron golem. There's just one problem. He spawned on the wrong side of the glass. Now that is something we'll have to rectify, and I'll be back in just a moment. And even though I have rectified the problem I used to have, it is still not enough because the iron golems are still spawning outside of the chamber. So with that in mind, I will have to firstly set this guy on fire and then spawn-proof this entire area close to the iron farm. Now that's not going to do much for the aesthetics of the place, but we need an effective iron farm, and right now we have more than half of our iron golems spawning outside of the chamber, which makes this iron farm completely useless. And it's a crude job, but it has been spawn proof, and already I can see a massive jump in efficiency. And I think with this iron, we probably should have enough to complete our beacon, which means we can activate Haste 2 and make short work of that mountain. So let's go gather up all of our blocks and go build a pyramid. And our beacon is active. Now we just need to pop something in here. Hang on, how does this work again? I think we need an emerald or something like. Select Haste 2 and there we go. We have Haste 2. Let's see if this has made a difference. And indeed it has. Now this is so much better. So let's get busy and tear down a mountain. And phase 1 of the build is finally complete. We've got the staircase leading up to the top tiers, and from there we've got the main grand staircase leading up to the garden area. And so far this is looking very, very good indeed. However, as you can see, we've still got a massive portion of mountain behind this that needs to go. So once again, let's grab our pickaxe and let's get digging. And finally, we have defeated the mountain. Even with Haste 2, it took a lot longer than I had anticipated. I even pulled in some TNT at one stage to try and make the work go quicker. It didn't do much, but eventually we got there. And with the mountain flattened, we can now start laying out the roads and planning our build. And with the roads laid out, we can already see some of the forms taking shape. We can see some areas where there's going to be buildings, but I think we'll have a clearer idea once we actually get down there and lay out the floor plan, which is next on the list. However, before we do that, we need to gather a bunch of materials. And first and foremost, we're going to be needing some leaves. And for that we are heading into the jungle because we need about 21 stacks of leaves and the jungle has plenty of it. Now I had considered using oak leaves instead of jungle leaves, but I think with the sheer amount that I need, jungle leaves are simply the way to go. We've got plenty of jungle around us, which means we can quickly and very easily get all the leaves we need. And this is the last bit of leaves that we need. I do believe we have about 21 or 22 stacks now. And with all of our leaves collected, we can finally make our way back to the mountain and start placing them down. So without any further ado, let's get going. Let's fly and let's place some leaves. And the leaves are in place and it is looking rather enchanting. I am loving the garden up front here. I think this is going to be spectacular. So let's just land for a second and take it all in. As you can see, the area we've cleared out is absolutely massive. This build is going to be gargantuan. So let's get busy, let's lay down a floor plan, and let's see what we're going to be dealing with. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, the floor plan is down and it is looking spectacular. And looking down on it from atop here, I am actually filled with apprehension because this is going to be a mammoth task. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Hardcore. Now in the previous episode we took down the mountain and we laid out the floor plan for our castle, and it's going to be an absolutely massive build. But before we get to that, we have two little spots down here that need our attention. Over here we've got a very ragged looking piece of land. And up top here, there is a bit of emptiness, and I think this is the perfect opportunity to add 2 more houses to our village. Once that is done, we will head up top here, we'll give this garden a little bit of love, and then we will tackle the main event of today, which is of course our mega castle build. So without any further ado, let's get warmed up and add a few more houses to our beautiful village. Here we go. And the houses are complete, and as you will see in the background, we've also added a bit of foliage to the staircase and the platform at the back there. We've done a little bit of work on the cliff surrounding the house, and all in all, this is looking amazing. And we're off to a good start for today's episode. But there's still a ton of work to be done, and before we can get building, we still need to collect a few more resources. Now next on my list of materials to gather is some deep slate and of course some tuff, and both of those we can gather up at bedrock level. And while we're down there we can go poking around for a few diamonds as well. So in preparation of that, I've decided to move my beacon down there to assist in the endeavor, and I've marked out the exact spot where I need to dig down to bedrock in order to have an unobstructed view of the sky, and that of course is right over here by this dirt pillar. So let's make our way down. And there we go, we've got a hole stretching all the way up to the sky, and all we need to do now is mine out a few blocks in each direction and make a space big enough to place the base of our beacon. And here we go, beacon is in place. We can add some iron there to activate it. We'll give it haste and haste 2. And as I'm doing this, I just remembered that a beacon has no real effect when you are mining deep slate. So I think all of this might have been for naught. But we've got our beacon down here. At least that will assist us a little bit when we encounter some tough. And yeah, mining deep slate is still the same old nasty slow process that it has always been. But we're here, so let's make the most of it. And with our mining session completed, we have managed to gather just over a stack of diamonds. And I'm going to grab some of these because I want to make a few more netherite upgrade ingots. And for that, of course, you need diamonds. Now, I don't really have any netherite scraps at the moment. I need to go mining for some more ancient debris. But before we can do that, we're going to need some TNT. And as you can hear, we've got the creepers in the background doing their job, providing me with some much needed gunpowder. And we've managed to get 7 netherite upgrade smithing templates out of these. And before we get building, there's another thing that I have not done yet, and I thought now is as good time as any. I have not yet added any armor trim to any of my armor pieces, and I have some netherite leggings that's just begging for it. So sir, may I please use your table? Yes? Let's get going. Alright, we've got our netherite leggings, we've got a ward armor trim we're going to be using, and we're going to use some redstone dust, and that doesn't look too bad at all. I think I'll go with that. And then let's see what I look like in my pimped out netherite leggings. And I really do like that. It's simple, it's elegant, and it doesn't look half bad. But let's face it, that is enough procrastination. It is time to get down to business. And as you can see, I've dug out a little chamber here where I've set up a temporary storage room. And I've been carting up a load of materials. I've got shulker boxes full of stuff. I've got chests with tons and tons of stone and wood in them. And I think we're just about ready to get building. And we have pretty much everything we need for now. There's a few more items that I might be needing later on, but right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get to work. And the first phase of our build is complete, and this castle wall is looking absolutely fantastic. I'm loving how this is turning out, and I think once we have the entire castle perched atop of the mountain, it is going to be brilliant. But first things first, we need some more materials, and unfortunately this is not something I can easily gather up, which means I need to do some work. In particular, I need to build a wool farm. And for that, I'm going to need some iron to make some hoppers. And fortunately, I've got an iron farm that can provide me with all the iron I could possibly require. Next up, we're going to need some dispensers. And to make dispensers, you first have to make some bows. And for bows, I need a ton of string. Now, I'm not going to go out at night chasing a bunch of spiders down. I've got a perfectly good mine shaft right here, brimming with spider webs, and I'm going to just harvest those to get all the string that I need. And as you can see, there is quite an abundance of spider webs to be found in here. Unfortunately, there's also an abundance of hostile mobs down here, and I just realized I no longer have a shield. Now, I don't know how long I've been running around without one, but I think I'd better be careful and just get the string I need as quickly as possible. Let's just light up here to make the area a little bit safer. And there we go. And there's a zombie attacking me. Oh, a little bit of damage, but nothing seriously. I really need to gather up the string, get out of here, and fashion myself a shield. And I think I've collected all the string I need, which means I can get out of here while I'm still in one piece and head for the surface to make my wool farm. So let's get out of this hole and let's go make ourselves some dispensers. And there we go, 16 dispensers, that's all we need for our farm. And then of course we need a ton of wood to make some chests, to make some hoppers, and of course the chests we're going to be needing to store all the wool we harvest. And after a lot of deliberation and scouting quite a few sites, I have decided I'm going to be building this wool farm inside the castle itself. And seeing as my plan was always to have a bunch of farms inside the castle, this is absolutely the perfect spot for it. So first things first, let's put down some grass where we will be housing the sheep. Next we install the observer so it can pick up when the grass is actually being eaten by the sheep. And then we have the dispensers which will shoot out the shears and snip the wool. Next up, a few chests that can collect said wool. And finally, we replicate the entire array on the other side as well. So we now have space for 16 sheep, which will give us all 16 colors of wool available in the game. And we're off to a great start. And before we build the pens to house the sheep, we're installing the collection system, a rail with a minecart hopper on top of it. And finally, we need one last ingredient, which is of course the sheep. So let's go out and go find ourselves a few of those. And there are no beasts more hardy and wool-giving than the magnificent mountain sheep up here. So we're going to collect as many of these guys as we possibly can. We need 16 of them to get all 16 colors of wool, and I think these guys will be absolutely brilliant as a start for our wool farm. Now we've got quite a few sheep ready to go, so let's make our way down the mountain, careful as we possibly can, and get all these guys safely down and into our wool farm. And we've even got a cow who's coming along for the trip. And yeah, nothing happened, nothing to see there. We still have all the sheep that we started with, nobody fell off the cliff, and we're still making our way safely down the mountain. No incidents to speak of so far. But I think I'm going to move the wheat to my offhand, because every time I stop to eat something or do anything else, all of these sheep decide to scatter. But it's on my offhand, they will now follow me to the ends of the earth. And let's hope it's not the literal end of the earth. And nothing happening here. Let's get all of the sheep, of which none have died, safely down the mountain and into the wool farm. And as you can see, we have finally made it down, and we have all 3 sheep still following us. Because that's all we had to start with. 3. None of them died. And we're going to breed up these guys so we can have enough to fill our farm. And while we're doing that, I will quickly dispose of this evidence over here. And then we shall speak of it no more. But despite all the trials and tribulations, we finally have enough sheep to stock our farm. So the last thing to do here is get all of the sheep into their places and dye them their various colors. And our wool farm is finally complete. We have one of every colored sheep in here, ready to give us all the wool we could ever want. I'm just going to line it up with a few chiseled stone blocks at the top here. And then while we're waiting for the wool to pour in, we're going to start building the next phase of the castle, which is of course the inner part. And this is going to be another massive job. So let's get to it and let's build. and the main part of the castle is finally done, and it is looking fantastic. We still need some wool. We haven't quite collected enough, but there's still plenty to be done while we're waiting for the wool to come in. As you can see, it is magnificent. I am very, very proud of what I've built here. However, there are still a few things that need to be built, such as the barracks over here. We need some place for the guards to stay, and right here we're going to build their barracks. And there we go. Like magic, we have the barracks. But that's not all we've been up to. If we take a look on this side, we also did a little bit of work on the stables. We also did a little bit of detailing, such as the grates on the front entrance and the main entrance to the castle, and we're still waiting for that wool. And not much progress, unfortunately. I think I'm going to have to dye a few extra sheep the colors I need just to get the wool a bit quicker, because as you can see, we've still got a massive hole in the roof. But while we're waiting for the wool, we can get down to some landscaping, and this is the perfect time to do some gardening. And with our trees completed, we've added in a few peonies, some lilac and some rose bushes, and the garden is looking absolutely fantastic. However, there's still something that is missing over here, namely a gazebo, and we are going to be building that gazebo right here. And like magic, a gazebo has appeared, perfect for a cocktail party on the castle ground lawns. And it is looking brilliant up here. We even have a little fountain, complete with a pond around it. We've got some lily pads, we've got some small drip leaf, and I think I'm just going to add a little bit of seagrass to the bottom, just to make it seem a little bit more overgrown and established. So let's get in there, let's get down some bone meal, some tall grass will be fantastic, and I think the garden is just about done. And I really do love the way that this has turned out. As you can see, I've used a bunch of different leaves just to give the trees each a different color, and they are looking beautiful. I'm not too sure about that one over there. It seems to be a little bit in the way. I might cut it down at some stage, but for now, this garden is looking awesome. And unfortunately, we still don't have enough wool to finish off the castle, but we do have enough to build the flags. And I've built the massive one at the top here, and down there I've built two smaller pennants, and we'll take a quick look at them right now. It is looking beautiful. Two colorful pendants flapping in the wind, and then on top of the castle we have the big magnificent flag flying proudly in the wind. We've also added in one or two other towers that we might have missed during construction, but everything is a work in progress, and I think progress is going really, really well. Last thing to do is install that floor up there. And finally, we have enough wool to complete the top floor. And I'm just doing a diagonal pattern with 3 different colors of wool, some blue, some light blue, and some cyan. And we're going to do this for this entire top section of floor, which would explain why we needed so much wool and why it took so long to collect. And I've completely screwed this up. Let's fix that. And finally, we are on the last stretch. One more row of cyan wool to go in here. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, the castle has been completed. And I am extremely proud of it. And from a bird's eye view, we can see what we have created. It is looking absolutely spectacular. Never before have I attempted such a build, and never before have I created something so vast. And during its construction, we also passed the 1,000-day mark. But that, unfortunately, ladies and gents, is all the time we have for today. I do hope you enjoyed the episode. Please leave a like if you did. And if you want to see some more, be sure to hit that subscribe button. But this is Fungusaurus Rex saying, until next time, beautiful people, stay awesome. Bye-bye.